I don't know if you saw this in the typical high school movies when the new kid transferred to the school and is having lunch alone and crying. That was me. I
Mm.
remember I went to the
Oh,
school
okay.
and I
That
was
was
in the.
me.
Really? Oh my god. I never thought. I thought that was so dramatic. I was like, no one has lunch alone, but fuck it. Like, that was me. What would be your story or incident that would help the viewers get to know you the best? Like anything like you would want to talk about, like just your story, how you got started, or some very important
Mm.
incident in your life that would like really get the conversation going and help people get to know you the best.
Okay. I never put this out in an actual conversation. Just gonna give you a quick back, like my life story
Uh-huh.
and how I got here. It's more
Yeah.
like, so grade elementary,
Yeah.
I was like the top kid. I was like the cool kid, kind of like
Yeah.
we only have like 14 people, and I was like, so because I was there since like preschool, so like everyone knew me, right? So I was like so cool in grade 6,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like this arrogant little kid, and I moved school. Grade 7. Grade 7, they kind of mix. So there's middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's high school. So they kind of mix it. So like this little like Asian kid, like if you know what I'm saying. And then like in grade 7, and I didn't know how to socialize because I've always been with the same group of friends
Yeah.
for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to socialize. I was completely left out, like very very like alone. And on top of that, the school was super hard, like so hard. And my father is a very like school person,
Mm-hmm.
so like he wants me to get good grades because that's on elementary I had decent grades, not
Yeah.
like top A's but decent grades.
Yeah.
And then went in, got so low. So then like at school I was lonely, and at home like my parents, like my parents, my dad in particular would like get angry at me because I have bad grades.
Mm.
So it was like so bad.
Yeah.
Like those like 7 and 8 was
Yeah.
like the worst years of my life. But I think that's how like that's what shaped me,
Mm.
because then it's kind of like it got so bad where it's either I I make it or break it. And luckily I stumbled upon like a couple of self improvement videos,
Mm-hmm.
like self education, and then that's how I got started into like self help and all that. And then that grade 7 and 8 really helped me like stop caring about other people's opinions,
Mm.
because like if people call me a loser or if they laugh at me, like I'm already used to it, because like
Yeah.
grade 7 and 8 is basically like a part of like a majority part of my life. So
I
that's
see.
how I got to now and like the mindset I am now.
That's such an amazing story. Like, I feel like so many people could relate to that. I had a very similar story because school was really, really hard for me. And that happened for me when I changed to a different school. I hated that place so much. I would like legit. I don't know if you saw this in the typical high school movies when the new kid transferred to the school and is having lunch alone and crying. That was me. I
Mm.
remember I went to the
Oh,
school
okay.
and I
That
was
was
in the.
me.
Really? Oh my god. I never thought. I thought that was so dramatic. I was like, no one has lunch alone, but fuck it. Like, that was me. And then I was literally in the bathroom because I didn't want to be alone, like sitting alone. So I would just have my lunch in the bathroom and like kind of do that. And
Mm.
those,
I,
yeah, say please.
no, okay. Actually, to add to that,
Yeah,
because because I'm so used to being alone on like 7, 8 grade,
yeah,
I'm like, so now I'm used to it, right? And then now, like whenever I'm lunch, like people like they need to have friends around them.
yeah.
Like for me currently, like I'm okay like eating stuff alone. Like I do majority of things alone now.
Yeah.
Not because like you know, like not because I'm lonely, but because
Yeah.
like I'm used to it. Like I
You
don't
enjoy
need to
your
like
company.
call up friends to like like
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you want to eat? If I want to eat, I just go out and eat. Like
Yeah, yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah, I get it. It's just the transition, from like having everyone all the time to having no one at all times. Just
yeah,
that was a little extreme. I feel like that was the same case for you. That is why it was difficult to be alone. And
yeah.
but just in that like alone time, I learned to how to enjoy my own company and started reading. I used to hate books, but then I started picking up on books and learned that I really like to read books and picked up on business books, self-help books, and just learned so much in that time. And I feel like only people who would really get to time, who really get to spend a lot of time with themselves, get an opportunity to really reflect and think about, what are my dreams, what do I want to do. Otherwise, you're always
Yep.
caught up with what am I doing next with my friends, where are we going, what are we eating, and just like, like life goes on. But when you're alone, you really get a lot of time to reflect, and I feel like that is when you get so in tune with yourself. Therefore, I feel like you start becoming happier because then your actions are mapping who you want to be and
Yeah.
what you want to achieve,
Yeah. But like the thing about that is where, I think we're both lucky where it's like you found like self-help books and I found like self-improvement videos.
Yeah.
Because in those times, like there are a lot of kids on the same exact situation. Instead of being better, they get depressed and like
Yeah.
suicidal and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
And it's just that's why I'm so grateful, because we're both so lucky where I'm able to find those self-improvement videos.
Yeah.
Because in those situations are they'll make it or they'll break it situations.
That is
They'll
so
either
true.
make you or they'll break you. So
Yeah. So like for those situations, either they were your prime. Not, I won't say prime time, but then they were a huge part of who you became, in a good way. Or for
yeah.
yeah, for sure. That's a very huge purpose of mine, to be able to help kids, to let them know that And honestly, I was really praying. I remember one time I was like, I need to have some amazing people around me who I get inspired by and who are better than me. And I never found them in my immediate environment. But what happened was, I found those people in books. I found those people virtually, like through YouTube, someone like Gary. And I started
Yeah.
consuming it so much. Like, I know it's weird, but I feel like I know him, like I absorb so much from him and learn his habits and just things like that. And I feel like that's such a great influence than just hanging out with like random people doing random things.
Absolutely. And you know what I love about content creating and on Instagram and on like for you on you create content on YouTube, not so much on Instagram, right?
I'm working on it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like the thing about like when I post consistently on Instagram, it's like the amount of like first I thought it's gonna be a lonely road, right? Because like none of my friends like know what I'm doing. First I thought it's gonna be a lonely road, so I'm like I'm prepared for it because like I'm used to it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like
Yeah.
2 years of eating crap, like like Gary warned me,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, wow, actually it's not that lonely. I mean, it's still like not that much like followers progress, like, but like the road itself is not that lonely because like there's so much support. Like the way I met you and the way I met like some other people who've
Yeah.
actually been like who I actually like DM and we actually talk to and has like such a good positive vibe.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
It is.
Like-
It truly is. And I never thought that there was something like that was possible. It is, like once you consume someone so much, you start picking up on it, not just like intellectually, but actually like in your life. You start like behaving like that. So Gary would always talk about everyone should start a podcast. But I was like, I have nothing to say. What am I going to talk about in the podcast? Then he was like, everything goes down in the DM. You should capitalize on networking with people. So I saw that so many people who were like commenting on Gary's videos and stuff were just like-minded people going through the same things. And they were
Yep.
all very open to the idea of social media and stuff. And I was like, why not like kind of capitalize on this situation where you can build genuine relationships and build an actual community of people who are all doing their own thing, but then they do it together. Isn't that like that's so much cooler than like just kind of doing everything alone?
Yeah. Agree. Completely agree.
I'm
Why
sorry.
why are you doing it at two in the morning though? That's the question.
Because of the time difference thing, like the majority of people I've spoken with are like either California time or New York time. So for them, like I can't ask them to be up at like in the morning, right? Their 1
Like
p.m. No. So like their 1 p.m. or like their 12 p.m. is like 1:30 a.m. for me.
I see.
So
Oh, okay.
that's why. So if I would try to do it like in daytime, it's gonna be nighttime for them. Like they would be sleeping. That's why I just try to like kind of adjust this time for the podcast. Yeah.
What do you use to record your podcast?
Nothing. I just use Skype and I use the QuickTime Player on like Mac, and like it just screen records the whole thing, and then I put it up on YouTube.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I feel like because like a video gives you more of like context and makes it more interesting, and that's why we do like a whole video thing.
I see.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you have like a whole podcast setup and everything. What got you started?
Wow. Long story short, I was like, not short. But like I was featured in my friend's podcast,
Oh.
and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. Like the fact that when you have guests over,
Yeah.
the guests feel, because like you don't talk these things you talk in the podcast normally in normal like life.
Conversations, yeah.
So then
Yeah.
having a podcast, I'm like, it's giving opportunity to my friends, and also for me to genuinely know the people around me. And like this, we're interacting, like
Yeah.
it's just cool.
So what got you started like making content on Instagram and stuff?
GaryVee, he was like he was telling me because I watch him so often,
Yeah.
it didn't cross my mind at the start,
Yeah.
but then he was like, document, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine, okay, I'm doing it, okay.
Like what made you start it as in like I'm trying to understand like your end goal. Like what did you think making content for you would do?
I see. Like for me, the end goal of making content is more of like inspiring the people around me more than having to do with where my content reach out to people outside. So like for example, like for the people in my inner circle, it's kind of like, so then they can see me and they're just like, this guy can do it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
Because like I don't know anyone around my friends who
Yeah.
create content,
Yeah.
but I know a couple of people who in my inner circle who wants to create content or who wants
Yeah.
to take that leap,
Yeah.
but then because like no one's taking that leap.
Yeah. It's
So-
difficult. It's difficult to come to the point where you're recording yourself and posting. It's difficult. So how did you find about GaryVee?
I think it was like his Monday video. I think it was his. Do you know his Monday video? It's one of his most popular videos.
Like you should
Right.
hate Monday. That one? Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, the one where I think it was like 3 years ago where he was on like this like
on the street.
four-way.
Yeah.
I
do
think that
remember.
one. Yeah. Previously, I watched a lot of motivational videos, but not someone in particular. And then I found out GaryVee. Then more and more and more. Then I became like a fan kind of. Then I
Yeah.
watch him regularly now.
Yeah. What made you like? What was like that one thing that really stuck with you about him as a person?
About Gary, wow. I think he's so genuine. Like he
Yeah.
is so genuine. I know some people don't like him,
Yeah.
but for me personally, I would rather someone like slap me in the face and punch me in the mouth than like flatter me and then talk. If you know what I mean. Like I like GaryVee's content so much because he literally just like slaps you. Like no like sugarcoating, no
That's
like
so true.
I
That's
just
so
I just like it. And he's also like some people in my inner circle say I talk I'm very similar to him, but I think I'm similar not because I follow him. It's more like I follow him because beforehand I was already similar to him. It's kind of like then I can relate.
I see. So like your thoughts and like his perspective really matched with yours, and that's how you really resonated with him.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
So what are you doing? Like, what is it that you're trying to accomplish right now at the moment? Any goal that you have right now that you're trying to accomplish in life in general, like anything?
So in the macro, definitely I like inspiring people and I like doing the personal brand.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of my main goals, being able to inspire people
Yeah.
and being able to, extend your reach more. And but I also have like business kind of things. I want to make money. Currently, I'm a college student, and then I also create content, and then I'm also trying entrepreneurial stuff.
Yeah.
So I really want to make money, also like a decent amount of money.
That's such a great start because Gary always says like irrespective of what you're trying to do, like if you're able to create your personal brand, you can leverage that into anything, whether it's like a job, whether it's a business. So that's amazing.
Exactly.
You're on the right track. Are you enjoying making content and stuff? I see like you're really grinding out consistent videos and stuff.
I like talking, and I like when it's like on the moment and passion, and I like sharing it.
Yeah.
I don't really like
Editing
the
it.
post producing and the editing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's more of like a task, but it's kind of part of the process, right? Like
Yeah.
you gotta eat the dirt also somehow.
That's so true. How do you edit? Like, what do you use to edit?
Premiere and After Effects for like the ending screen.
Yeah.
I use After Effects.
That's crazy. Like, how long does it take you to like fully make one video?
40 minutes, 45 minutes. It's according to how much the length is.
Yeah.
And like subtitles are like, I really hate putting subtitles, but
Yeah,
like
you actually like manually
takes a
type
while.
everything?
yeah, I do manually
That's
write everything. So.
crazy. I always wondered. I thought that there was some like so there are these apps where you have these templates where you just upload your video and then it would like kind of you just have to like write a caption
Auto.
and it would make like
Yeah.
the whole white thing or black thing. I don't know. I really wondered how people make those videos, but you actually like sit and do the work. I didn't know
I sit,
that.
yeah, I sit and do the work. So like there are some ways where I think I've never tried this, but I want to try it for longer videos.
Yeah.
It's where you put in the YouTube caption thing. YouTube has this like auto caption, auto subtitle,
Oh, yeah.
and after that you just fix the errors within the auto subtitle.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, all the line thing you do, like till the time your video is going, how do you do that? I was just very curious. I love those kind of videos.
This. I was the best kept secret for 11 years. Like, think about this, dude.
Oh, thank you. I use Premiere Pro and I just like put a rectangle shape. They just put the position out of frame and I just animate it inside. Like it's not that hard really.
That's great. I have no idea how to do all this stuff, so I'm so fascinated when I look at this. Real work goes into it. That's insane. Do you already know how to like edit and stuff, or do you like learn?
I just learned a month ago for Instagram specifically. So I wasn't into like content creation beforehand. As I told you, I am a very fast, like I don't think a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I executed. So I instantly, like first when I thought of starting Instagram,
Yeah.
like 3 days later, I bought like the entire Adobe pack thing, and after that I bought like the setup, and like after a week, like I already bought the thing, even though I have no idea how to edit. I
Yeah.
didn't learn prior,
Yeah.
so I just trusted myself that I could do it, and thank God it isn't as hard as it looks.
You're doing a really good job. It looks so professional. You taught yourself through YouTube videos and stuff?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So there's this question I always ask like people on the podcast, which is, are you happy?
Am I happy? That's a good question. I'm gonna take that for my podcast.
Yeah, I feel like it helps you like understand the person the best.
Yeah, I think I am happy actually. Well, as a college student, like I don't really like the college part, but like everything else, I like it. But like content creating and like doing business stuff, like I like that. So I think that makes me happy, and I think I am very happy now. Even though like people think that I'm working like 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, which
Yeah.
I am like, but like I like it.
So how many hours is college for?
12 hours a week worth of classes. Not that much, but like the homework is like
Yeah. So like that kind of takes up the majority of your day.
I don't like prioritize necessarily homework above content creation. It's more of like I do them in parallel, so like they have the same priorities.
What are you majoring in college?
Computer science right now.
Do you like it?
I like it quite, but I took it because of the business aspect to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like now
absolutely.
currently, it's all tech companies. That's why
Yeah.
I took it, not
Yeah.
because I love like maths and like physics and
Yeah.
stuff like that. No,
Yeah.
but like don't get me wrong, like I think it's important, but just for my view, like I personally don't think that what I'm learning in college is as useful as some other stuff.
So I met like not most, like literally everyone on my podcast was from Gary's comment section, and everyone's trying to do their own thing. And the podcast is called Building Community. It's about everyone who's like working hard at their own thing, but here all of us come together for like a collaboration or just to let each other know that we're down for each other. You know, like if someone's an artist, then I would make a video with their music, you know, like just to kind of support them and just like show
Yeah.
love and kind of building that kind of an audience who is just down to support people, who are good people and who are working hard. So now I'm trying to move towards Instagram because Instagram has an excellent reach. For YouTube, it takes like so long for like your views and stuff to get up. Like you hustle
Yeah.
every single view. But I feel like for
Yeah,
Instagram, it's way easier. You find that?
Yeah. I do think, but like the thing is for YouTube, it's like a search engine, while for Instagram, it's more of like, I guess for Instagram, you can get a lot more by through just like simply DMing people.
Yeah.
Like I think I get most of my followers and stuff, and like I'm growing like quite fast because I just started like a couple of like weeks ago,
Yeah,
and
you are.
so then like I think the most of my followers I get is just by like Gary said, I just DM people or I just comment on people.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the same thing you're doing, like to
Yeah.
get guests on your podcast. You just
Yeah.
DM people and
Yeah. Yeah, on
So,
Instagram, there's so many. Like, you're just commenting on a post, or you getting on the discover page, or comments actually are a huge way. Like, so many people will like just pick up followers from like a genuine comment you would write somewhere, and then
Yep.
people would resonate with that comment. They would go on your profile, and then they would see like if there's something they like that they would do it. I'm finding it difficult to grow on Instagram because I feel like I'm not posting anything. So now I'm really trying to post and do more.
I see. Yeah,
Have you tried on
definitely.
YouTube or anything?
What?
Have you tried
Sorry.
on YouTube or anything? Like, do you have plans to expand?
YouTube. Yeah. I actually did like had one vlog on YouTube because then I wanted to make macro content and then like
Yeah.
distribute it
Yeah.
like microly on Instagram and other platforms.
Yeah.
But then it's like I don't have time to post produce for YouTube.
It takes a lot of time.
But it's like for like 2 days just to like for one video.
Yeah, I feel like YouTube, the reason I like YouTube, I discovered through YouTube everyone I know. And I know YouTube audience is like so sticky because it's someone watching you every day for like 10 minutes. You know, they just don't get snippets of your life. But I feel like then they are living your life if you're actually like consistent with your content and stuff. And that audience is very, very different from the one you can build on like other platforms. But if I have a podcast which is for an hour or two, I've spent like 6 to 7 hours just editing it. And there's no like major editing. It's just like chopping up little bits and pieces here and there. But because it's long, like we do it like that. But now,
Is it like
sorry, what?
is it like chopping the fillers? Like filler words and like
Yeah, you know, like sometimes you're
those
just
stuff?
repeating the same thing, or like we pause for a little bit. So I just don't post the whole thing. So I chop it up a little bit.
I see.
You know, like
Okay, yeah.
for someone who's watching, it's already really long. So why should I like let those seconds? And it's very like just chopping up seconds. You know, when like both of us are quiet for a second. So like the person watching doesn't feel like it's too much for them.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
You know?
How many episodes in are you now?
I believe it's 11 now.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. I
But-
see why. Because like you're new to the game, then it's
Yeah.
like because like first time I started, I think like first like 20 or first 15, I also did the same thing. Listen to it and then like chop out everything and then like edit the audio or whatever.
Yeah.
It took really long. Like for me, I did first like I did a lot of filler words and a lot of like and like
Yeah.
awkward silences.
Yeah.
But then the more you do it, then it's like
Yeah.
and then you do it one take, and then
Yeah.
you just like skip, and then okay.
Yeah, so even though like I have 11 podcasts, I continued filming a lot of like just personal videos, like vlog sort of things, just like giving context and sharing my perspective. Because the thing about podcasts is I have to DM like 20 people. That's when one person says yes. And I don't have to mess it up with that one person. Like, if we messed up the time difference, you were gone. Like, I couldn't have catching you back. And I got a yes
Really?
after. Yeah, so it's so much dependent on other people. If I want, I would want to have a podcast every single day. But so many times, like, we schedule throughout the week, and then so many of them just get cancelled. And because of the time difference things, it's really difficult to, like, you know, reschedule or manage. And that's why podcasts are very limited in number.
You don't just podcast it yourself, like you don't like just share your own thoughts.
No, I don't do it in a form of a podcast, but I would just like make a video of myself, like just a video with my phone.
I see.
And I
Okay.
just call it like Daily D or whatever, like just like lame as shit, and just kind of share my perspective on things. I make that a separate series, and podcast is always with like another person, you know.
I see. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Toby, you have different conversations when you are on a podcast with your friends. Like, is that fun?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like I've heard people who like after I do a podcast with, they're like, oh my god, that was so fun. Like, God, it didn't feel like it was like 45 minutes. Like, it
Yeah.
felt like only like 10 minutes. Like, because that's what I love about podcasts, where it gives people the opportunity to talk about things they actually believe in
Yeah.
and to talk about their truth.
Yeah.
Right?
So how is that? Like, you already know your friends, so how do you frame up the questions to make it interesting? Or I'm just like curious.
How I frame up the questions.
Yeah.
I usually go with the flow, but like every time for example, like I was talking about music production,
Yeah.
I will always like pull like an insight from it. So as in like hard work or whatever, like
Yeah.
it will always relate to that.
Yeah. So during your content creation process, was there something that was really difficult for you that you overcame? Like for me, it was a lot of fear of like putting myself on camera. I was very like, it took me such a long time to be able to overcome that. So for you, was there like something that was difficult?
Oh, one of them is definitely just the technical stuff. Because like again, like I didn't know how to do any video editing until Instagram. So then,
Yeah.
so then I have to learn.
Yeah.
So then I learned, and then okay, I finally got it like decent quality. I still don't know like a lot, but like
Yeah.
I can produce, and that's enough for me. For me, it's being interesting on the camera. That's what's hard, and I think that's a thing. And recently, just like thinking of new ideas, because sometimes there's like days where I'm like 5 ideas I want to talk about so much,
Yeah.
and then there are days where it's like
You have
I
nothing.
have no, I have no idea what to talk about, but you
Yeah.
have to still post very consistently.
The whole interesting thing, right? But then Gary talks about that you just have to speak your truth. And then what's interesting, what's not, is something for the market to decide. Like what's good, what's interesting is subjective, right? So that was the
Yep,
thing for me. I
exactly.
was like, what am I saying? Like, is it good enough? Is my video good enough? But then I was like, why am I judging it? Like, let me just produce and do, and then let the people decide. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But with like from someone like Gary did say like you have to let the marketplace decide, but then it will take like at least maybe like 3, 6, like a few months, and then you realize that like after a few months, then you realize that oh shoot, like the market, like my content actually sucks. So I'm scared that it's gonna be like that. So rather than like waiting that 3 to 6 like 12 months, like for me what I did was I studied like from like for example if I do vlogs or podcasts, I looked at like big podcasters, look what they're doing right,
Yeah.
because that's what the market wants.
Yeah.
Like from different like other things also. So not only like GaryVee but other vloggers and other things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, then this is what the market wants, and then how can I put my own twist and my own style on it? That's how I did it, where it's still authentic and genuine to me. That's how I did it.
I see. What I was talking in the context of was like him just talking about like speaking your truth, right? Like the whole story you shared about having a difficult time in school, right? That is so real. And what's funny is I am sure there are so many people who have gone through that. Like we just
Yeah.
randomly spoke on that, and I like it was so similar. Like I just quickly remembered me sitting in the fucking bathroom and crying. I'm like shit. Like there was a lot of people who did that, so I'm glad it wasn't me, right? And
Yeah.
me just thinking maybe like that story is kind of irrelevant. Who cares if I didn't like school? But then just that thing, I don't know what ends up resonating with people. I was just recently watching this vlog where this guy who's like a filmmaker, and people who are like creative tend to go down this thing, right? Like even though they put in hours into like a film or music, they still don't end up liking it. But at the end of the day, so many songs that went viral were the ones that the artist kind of didn't like. They were the ones that they were like trying to cut off from the album. But then those were the ones that did go viral, you know? You just don't know what people might resonate with.
Yep. I mean, I guess, there are those times where it's like that. Yeah, I do agree. I do agree that sometimes it's also unexpected, but I mean, I guess I agree. But for me, it's meeting at least like recognizing in the like macro huge scale
Yeah.
what people want. Like for example, a vlog, if you see all good vloggers,
Yeah.
like you can't just have you for like 10 minutes working on your laptop and then putting it on like 10 times speed. Like that's not gonna be an interesting vlog.
Yeah.
So like but then like again, so like for me it's just not taking it too that literally, where it's like this is what I do all day. So like of course, like for me that's if you know what I mean.
Yeah. But it's a good thing, you know, like all of that doesn't stop you from doing, which is a great thing. This is for people who just get so crippled by perfection and end up not doing anything. So at least like you're producing content. I really admire that. It took me months from the moment I decided to the moment I started doing. Like I wanted to start my whole YouTube thing in 2018 January. I started in
Whoa.
February 2019. I never had the guts. I had so many videos up on my phone. I thought they were so stupid, and I just could never do it until I consumed Gary so much that he told me that it's just your insecurities that are playing out if you're not doing anything, you know? So, like, props to you. The fact that you decided and you started doing, like, that's amazing. I feel like so many people can learn from that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's also a part of kind of like me. Again, main inspiration is not like I'd like to inspire other people also outside of my inner circle.
Yeah.
But like for me, it's definitely firstly inspiring people in my inner circle first. In my inner circle,
Yeah.
like from the people I know personally. I really like, for example, like I know some negative people,
Yeah.
not in my inner circle, but like in like friends, no friends, no friends, kind of like,
Yeah.
if you know that like community,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like they think they're cool. Like that's the thing. Like I don't like it. They think they're cool, and that would like drag people who are neutral to the negative side. So what I want to do by creating content is definitely firstly for my community, and then for the rest of like, outside the rest of the people I reach, is to make positivity a cool thing.
Yeah.
That's why I do Instagram, because if like shit, this guy has like 10K followers doing like talking about like positive stuff, or
Yeah.
like then I'm like, he must be doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. It actually does have such a power and influence, just having a community behind you who supports what you do. You know, like followers in other words.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So I read on your Instagram bio, it says that a kid with big dream. So what would you say what is your big dream?
So I have huge dreams. Like I'm very ambitious as a
Yeah.
person. I think my parents, like, I won't say good, but like my parents like developed that ambitiousness from when I was a very young age,
Yeah.
and I am very competitive. Like you know why I love GaryVee's story so much about his baseball cards and stuff? It's
Yeah.
because when I was a kid, like I also sell and trade cards, like, but not
Really?
like to the degree like. I don't know if you have like Animal Kaiser or like Vanguard cards. So not baseball cards.
Uh-huh.
Not like I wasn't making like $3,000
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know, but like I was selling and trading cards for my own game. Like I was actually selling cards. Like I was trading cards.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so like that's why I'm like, when I heard Gary's story, I'm like, shit, I'm not alone. Like,
That was when, like, how old were you?
let's see. 9, 10. Do you know
Really?
like Animal Kaiser? It's like a very popular arcade game.
I don't.
You don't know?
No.
You don't? It's like super popular in Asia,
Okay.
and like so we would go to arcades, and then we would play a game. They would
Yeah.
dispense out a card, and there's like rarity to the cards. Just like bronze, silver, gold.
Yeah.
That I would like trade according to the rarity and like the power, so that I can beat up all my other friends when I'm playing the game. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it goes beyond that. It goes to like video games too. Like in video games,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very competitive, and yeah, I usually play with my friends, right? And my friends are busy like actually playing the game
Yeah.
and trying to actually win by like I don't know, like defeat the monsters or whatever. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what the objective is. For
Yeah.
me, I try to win by selling stuff and trading items for other people, and then after that, like getting the best stuff, and then after I beat them, then they're like, what the fuck, like what? Then they're confused.
Yeah. So you've had this from a very early age. That is so cool.
Yeah, which is why it relates to me so much.
Yeah.
My dad's
Yeah.
entire family are entrepreneurs. So my
That's
dad,
amazing.
like literally I have 2 uncles and 2 aunts, and my
Yeah.
dad,
Yeah.
like all 5 of them
Yeah.
like own businesses. Only 2 of them ever worked for anyone. So 3 of them literally never worked for anyone. They like graduate, they want to own a business. So it's like I think it's
It's in your
a
blood.
part of that's a part of a thing. Yeah.
Like, I feel like anyone who's like a good person and has good intentions and works hard, obviously has like a better chance of making it, because like Gary says, like at the end, like karma and all those stuff like really play out.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So what
I
would be
agree.
like your big dream otherwise? Like, if you would want to define your dream?
yeah, I completely forgot and
It's fine.
disregarded the question. Okay, so, I was way too passionate, but okay. So for the big dream,
Yeah.
probably, I knew it had something to do with my childhood. Oh, it was about like entrepreneurship and building businesses. I think I really like to build businesses and like I guess not build businesses because I haven't built anything, but like you know, but like I really want to like inspire people and stuff like that. Like for me, the ambition of building a businesses is what makes me happy. Like the process of building a big business. That's why I want to build a big business because I like the process.
Yeah.
I guess it's hard to okay because like Gary. I'll put Gary as an example. It's more
Yeah.
like Gary wants to buy the New York Jets.
Yeah.
So you could say he has big ambitions, right? But he actually don't want to, quote unquote, because he doesn't care if he buys the New York Jets or not. Because what he actually likes is the process of buying the New York Jets, which
True.
is
Yeah.
which is what it is for me. Like that's the thing for me.
So what, like, would your big dreams kind of translate into any materialistic goal? Like,
Materialistic.
mhm.
Mm, uh, huh. Let's see.
Like if you're
It's
into
like
cars or like mansion.
cars.
Yeah.
I mean, cars and mansion. I guess I would like to have like a decent, like a cool car and whatever. But like,
Yeah.
it doesn't drive me. For me, it's more like what I like to do, like is entrepreneurship and stuff. It's more like playing basketball than it is to like marketing or whatever. Like it's very similar to the game of sports
Mhm.
where it's like money is points for me.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
money is merely like points. So like I like the process of getting the points. I like the process of making more money.
Mhm.
I just don't know how much money I'll make, so I can't give you like a definite number. But I
No,
want
I
to
get
make
it.
a
I
lot
get it.
of if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I was just trying to understand because so many people I'm speaking with, really trying to understand what is it like. I feel like I was learning so much about success. What does it really mean? And for some people, I always thought success was like having a lot of money, having cars, having a house, and stuff like that. But then once you start studying about the people who already quote unquote made it, they're still striving for more. And I was like, when does it stop? Like I thought once I have everything I need, I'm going to be happy. But why are people still striving for more? Why do they still wake up so early and like pull off like
Yeah.
18-hour days? And that's when I found out that success really meant was something. This person shared a definition of what success meant to them, and she said that success for me is finding something that lights my eyes up, working on something that really like fuels me, and just things like that. And it all made so much sense, and that therefore I get it. Like money and everything would just be the byproduct of everything we create, of everything we build, and therefore it truly does become like numbers. And then you're fighting
Yeah.
for like who has bigger numbers or whatever, like whatever you could say.
Yeah. As long as you don't go broke and like
Yeah,
like as
obviously.
long as I have
Yeah,
food on the table,
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be fancy food. Like I don't mind living with a basement with someone and eat like food, like
Yeah,
just like
burgers.
eat like shit food.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind,
Yeah.
but as long as I still have the food in the place, like then the rest are just numbers.
Yeah. So cool. So is there anything else that you would just like to share with the viewers? Anything that you would like to talk about or any message?
I guess actually let me revert back to the kid with the big dreams thing.
Mhm.
I also like for entrepreneurship is a hobby,
Mhm.
but my goal is actually to inspire more people to be happy. Like
Yeah.
like so I come from an Asian culture and
Yeah.
I really want to break the culture because I don't agree with it like 90% of it
Mhm.
because parents are expecting their kids to be like doctors and entrepreneurs and like multi-million-dollar CEOs and like all
Yeah.
this stuff
Yeah.
when the ultimate goal of everything is literally just to be happy.
Yeah. That's so true.
The parents are just projecting what would make them happy to their kids. If
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I absolutely know what you mean. Yeah, I'm from like India, so the Asian culture is very much here,
Mm.
and that is
Yeah.
exactly what people want their kids to be, and that therefore I did not. So I just completed my class 12th, which is like I guess senior high school in your terms.
You're
Um,
senior high school?
No, I completed my senior high school a year ago.
So, are you not going to college?
No,
No?
I'm not. I
Okay.
did not take up formal education. It was because of this very reason. I had such a difficult time in school and I never believed in it. And my teachers always told me I was a fucking loser and shit like that. But
Oh,
my
okay.
parents were, I just had like great parents and a great like friend group. So I never had like self-esteem issues. Like whenever my teachers would tell me that I would accomplish nothing, it would just go off my head. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you have no idea who I am. And just think like that, like, just think like that. And I don't know if you have a grading system or a percentage system, but here we have, like in your senior,
I think,
do you guys have a grading system or a percentage
Yeah.
thing?
You mean like percentile is in like your grade relative to everyone else, or more
No,
of
no, no.
like
So we
A,
have
B,
like,
C, D?
so yeah, you guys have A, B, C, D, right?
Now in college I have, and back in Asia I also have. Back in my high school.
Yeah, so here we have like percentages. So you get a percentage out of 100. And every
Same.
person like expects you to get a 90, which is difficult. And now I have people complaining about even getting a 93. They're like, it is so low, and the colleges want you to get a 98. And then that's kind of set the bar. So your parents always expect the kids to get a certain percentage to get to a certain college. But in reality is that not everyone's going to get that percentage as per se. So does that mean that all the kids who can't are losers? Like you cannot judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, right?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
parents would keep on expecting you and you would feel like you're not fulfilling the expectations. And I had like 3 incidents right in front of my eyes where there was this guy who was in the 11th grade, which is I guess senior high school, and he took up science. He never liked it. He took it because his parents really forced him, and then he failed this class, and then the principal told him that he was a loser, he's not going to accomplish anything, and everyone knew about it. And then he went back
okay.
and he took his life, and this was out in the newspaper. It was out everywhere, and I just couldn't understand what made him go through something like that. I'm a person about possibilities. Like, you can tell me in any situation you're in, I could immediately start thinking of solutions on what next steps that we could take for you to, like, break out of it. And when he wrote his letter, it was published in the newspaper, and it said that he really felt so pressurized and he felt like there was no way out. And this was in one case when I studied about
Is
it.
it in your?
Yeah. It was in my
your
school.
high school?
Yeah.
Jeez, Luis, my God.
And
Okay.
this is like just marks, right? Then the next guy he was in the same school but in a university, and you're supposed to have an 80% attendance to take an exam. He didn't, they failed him, and he jumped from the school itself. And when I read about it, there were so many incidences like that, because I got to thinking, why was that happening? And it was because parents and teachers had put everyone in a box that this is your life, this is what you're supposed to do, and if you don't fall in anywhere here, you have nothing in your life. And therefore I chose not to go through formal education and take a different route, to be able to like let kids know that there's so much out there in the world that you can accomplish.
So what route are you taking now? Like,
So now I am
just for me, I'm curious.
No. So I'm planning to move to LA in October. It's difficult for me. I'm still like figuring out how that's gonna happen. I haven't still figured out what my talent or my thing is, and therefore I'm like just documenting my journey of figuring it out. So I'm setting possibilities for myself. One is through networking, like just doing these podcasts, right? Like you and I are speaking. I was in talking terms with a couple of employees from Vayner Media, and like just kind of building my credibility to be able to go to
Whoa,
the
how
brand.
did you talk to the employees from Vayner Media?
Just everyone's so nice and humble. I was just
Okay.
on this Instagram hunt, and I told you, like, I would DM 20, 30 people, and one person would say yes. And people just say yes, That's what Gary says, like, you just gotta try your odds. And I have another one lined up next week with another employee from Vayner. And just kind of building up that route that I want to get in touch with the right person I can work for free. I feel like I weigh a lot of importance on education. That's why the books and content consuming comes in. And now my next form of education I feel like is practically working for someone I want to be like or I admire.
Yep.
And that's one route. Creating content is one route, or just things like these, just setting boundaries and possibilities for myself. And I know one of it is going to hit, and that would be my thing.
But that's the thing, though. That's what like. I'm pretty sure you get it, but that's why I'm scared of other students. Like when I clarify where I hate the school system and I don't like formal education.
Yeah.
Like some people, they mistake it to, oh, no studying, kind of like, whatever, party all day.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about formal education sucks, but self education is like the game.
Yeah.
Like self education is very important.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong. Like
Absolutely.
that's like the way to go.
Yeah.
I'm just scared. I'm scared some people, they don't understand. They're like, I hate the
difference.
school system, and then
Yeah.
they party out.
Yeah, you know why? Because the way our education system is set up, I don't know how it goes for you guys, but for us, like you're given a textbook, and it
Probably
is.
the same.
I'm not sure. That's why, like, I would just like to know. I'll tell you mine. So you're given a textbook, and you have questions from the textbook, and your answers are supposed to be exactly what the textbook. You can't even frame up your own like language, and if you do it, they would deduct your marks. So they would have keywords and like definite like sentence by sentence. And what that does to your brain is you stop applying yourself. You start like memorizing and puking it out. So it's a huge game of who can memorize the most instead of who can apply themselves the most or who understands it better. Like I've just had so many of these. One time I had this exam, my economics exam, and we had like 10 questions and I got 0 in all the questions. But then there was one question that was not related to our textbook, but it was just a I wouldn't say a general knowledge kind of a question, and everyone in the class had it wrong except me. I was the only one person who had that question right. And my economics teacher, even though I got a 0 on my paper except that answer, she called me and she made everyone like read my answer and told them what was so different. And that's when she told me like, she's like, I believe in you, like you can apply yourself so much. And I just didn't read the textbook, that's it. But I was able, and all these kids who were reading the textbook who got like all the marks, but they couldn't apply themselves on like real life stuff. So I feel like a lot of incidences like that I learned from it, and now I'm just like kind of navigate. I'm still figuring it all out. That's why I'm really trying to document real time being confused.
I see.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, completely. Like just trying stuff out, like just trying different things. I definitely think that's a way to go. And like the thing about college and about the good thing about college is that if you take the leap,
Yeah.
you can always go back to college. For example, you
Yeah.
found out you want to be a doctor
Yeah.
or be a physician, you can always go back to college.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
but the opportunity will pass you by,
It
right?
will.
If you get the opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, these are the times when you have no like responsibilities, you know? Like you don't have your
Yeah.
family, you don't have people you're looking after. You're like the world is actually an oyster. Even if you fail and you're broke, that has no effect on no one except yourself. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I love it.
I'm so happy for you, man. Like you're just doing a great job, and I'm so glad that we connected. And
Thank you. I'm happy for you too. Yeah.
thank you
know,
so much. I can't wait to see
you've
what you
done all
accomplish.
this.
So, the last thing we do for the podcast is just a thought. Like we end up doing a collaboration on Instagram, and so we're able to kind of, because everyone's growing their social, so we're able to cross promote each other. So instead of like me going from 1,000 to 1,100, I try to collaborate with someone who has 1,000. So from 1,000, potentially I go to 2. And then like just kind of building off of each other like that. So would you want to do like an Instagram post or something like that?
I mean, yeah, sure, I'm down.
Yeah. So we do, so like I'm gonna post one tomorrow with the guy friend I did, and he's a fitness person. So what we did like one entertainment post kind of a thing. Like I challenged him to do a workout with a banana on his head and give fitness advice. It was really funny. So the first post is that, and then the next post leads to a 1-minute podcast out of a thing. That is like the theme I'm taking. So would you wanna only do one?
Okay.
the 1 minute podcast, or would you also have something else in mind that you would want to like? So for like my viewers can get to know you the best, so then that makes them go to your profile and follow you.
And you'll do the same thing with
Yeah,
you
for
also
you.
on my feed.
Yeah.
So how does it work? As in, like, we both post
So
to each other, and then,
so what I'll just show you. So we did a FaceTime, we just discussed everything, and then because it's Instagram, it needs to have good quality. That is why we
Yeah.
would just record a video of ourselves and just post.
Okay.
So you record a video of yourself asking me a question like, "Hey Devika, what is the most important thing in your life that you want to talk about?" Right? And then I
Yeah.
record a video of me talking about it, and then we just like kind of combine the video and post it for you, and then you would do the same thing for me. Let me try to show you. Wait, can you see this?
yeah, I can.
Let me
I
play.
can.
Welcome to the first episode of the 1 minute podcast. Talk about something which will help the people get to know you the best. You get the idea?
I see. Okay.
So like he
Okay.
just
And you
recorded.
post it? Is
Huh?
that a story or a post?
No, post.
I see. I mean, yeah. Okay. I guess I'm done.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you want to decide on like the question, like just so my viewers can get to know you the best, so which makes them go to your profile and follow you? So what is it that you would want to talk about? I would frame up my question that way.
Actually, let me go to your profile so I can get a better idea.
I haven't
Oh, I
posted
see.
anything.
I think you have the recent one. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah, that's like just me giving the context of what's about to come.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, sure.
Yeah.
Question. What's the question?
No, what do you
I
want to
wonder
talk
what's-
about? So I would frame up my question like that.
Oh, okay. I thought I had to frame. Okay.
Yeah. Anything? What do you want to share with the people?
What was the question of? What was yesterday's question?
Which was yesterday's question?
Yeah. What was the question the guy
Oh,
chose?
for him. So he wanted to talk about overcoming fear. So I asked him. I was like, talk about something that really helped you overcome your fear, some obstacle that you had to cross, or whatever. And I'm doing the same thing for him.
Okay. I think like something about like being happy. Like I think it's more of like how do you define success kind of thing, kind of question.
Okay.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
How do you define success? Because I'm a big thing into. I think that's a question I'll answer because I'm big into like just trying to, and then I'll say happiness because a lot of people, for me, like I'm big into success equals to happiness for me.
Okay. So I'll like record a video of me asking you that, hi Marvel, thank you so much for coming on the 1 minute podcast. So one question that is the most important to you, like what do you think success means for you? Like how do you define success? Yeah, that
Excellent.
kind of thing?
Yeah. And then do I have to ask you? And then I ask you something, and you post, and then I post in mine. Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my mic's like. There you go.
Oh, that's fine. This is such a nice setup for me. Like I literally just record on my laptop. It's so fun.
I mean, it's supposed to be like it's supposed to have like this, like like an actual like mic, like.
Wait, what's that? The filter thing?
Makes a pop filter, yeah. So if I say puh, it's not as like aggressive.
That's amazing. That's so cool. My God, that is so.
It blocks the video though, so that's why I don't need. But if it's pure audio, I'll use the.
I see. Okay. Also, like your answer would be around the 1 minute mark because Instagram only allows the 1 minute thing.
Okay. Do you mean that means 40 seconds? Because then you have to cut in your part.
Yeah, you can increase and then 40 seconds. I feel like if there's a little bit increase, we can always extend it to an IGTV thing, but we'll keep it around the 1 minute mark because it's called the 1 minute podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do the same thing for me as well. Maybe I could answer the same question. So the thing is that I post your video and it's gonna have a long caption of describing who you are and talking about our podcast here, so people go on YouTube and watch the podcast. And then I would say, like, to listen to my perspective, go on Marvel's profile.
Okay.
So like we can like bounce.
That's actually cool.
Yeah, so we can like bounce the audience or whatever.
That's actually really cool.
I know it is.
Well, I think I'm gonna copy that. Like.
Absolutely. So
That's a cool idea. Like, God,
we-
okay.
so let's just do the same question. I can ask you what it means for you, and then you can ask me what success means to me.
Yeah, I'm down, yeah. Do I have to record
That's
like this? Like this?
However you like it, like
Or like this? Because like if like this then it's like the dimensions are like
I
know,
know
1080.
how do you do it? How do you do it for your Instagram posts and stuff?
like this. That's like this. That's why there's the white
Horizontal?
bars. Yeah, because
Oh.
that's why there's the white on the top and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
bottom.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit the frame size.
Oh.
What that means is that it has to be like smaller, so then, cause like it's long, right? So it's long, kind of like the thing
Yeah,
is long. So
yeah.
well, if it's like this, then I'll have it has to be cut out on the sides, or does it?
I'm so confused.
I don't
Like literally yesterday, I made a big mistake, which was our first post is a horizontal, and then our next post is a vertical.
What? Okay.
Yeah. So I guess like my next post would have to be like a tilted. This is my
Oh,
first
yeah.
time, you know.
I mean, like look, like look at your video right here. Like yours get cut out right on the top. Like you see your hair gets cut out. If you go to IGTV,
That's when you get the full version.
once you shoot it, this is how it actually looks like.
Yeah.
So when you're shooting it, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And if you post it, it gets cut out on the top. So
So how do you want to do it? Do you want to do an IGTV style or do you want to do vertical? Whatever you say, we could do that.
just consistent to the yesterday one. Like what was yesterday's? Well, why do I keep saying yesterday? What was the last one?
Okay.
But I keep
It's
saying,
weird because it's
saying,
both. It's both. So the collaboration post is a horizontal post, and the podcast
I
turned
mean,
out to be
yeah,
vertical.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I think let's just do it like this because
Vert-
it's easier for IGTV. Because then when
Yeah,
it
yeah.
gets expanded, it goes like this.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do it.
That's good.
So you can record your answer and your question, and I'll record my answer and question, and then let's.
Let me write down what's the question exactly, so I know. How do you define success? Is that the question exactly?
Yeah, I would try to make it like more real. So I would be like,
So what does success mean to you?
how do you define success?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, it's like the same thing,
So
you know.
Okay. So then I'll do that, and then
And then once you're like answering, you could say like, "Thank you for having," like something. You can mention the 1 minute
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
or something. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
absolutely, yeah.
Just to give like that
Yeah,
context kind of a thing. And for your profile, like, do you want me to add something to my answer? Like, thank you,
I mean-
Marvel, for having me.
Whatever. Actually, like,
Okay. Cool.
you can even just promote your own I don't care, like you can promote it, like
Yeah, you'll promote me on the description thing.
yeah, I mean sure, yeah.
Yeah?
Even in a video you can promote yourself.
Yeah, anything,
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
whatever works for you. Okay, and then we'll just do the whole thing. Yeah.
And you said something about the caption, like is the caption just like whatever or
So the caption, what I do is for my podcast, I always give a lot of context to the person because I had a whole conversation with the person. I would just give a little description of who they are and what they're about. So maybe you would want to give a description of like, I have a podcast building community. I'm networking with people. My dream is to this and like move to LA and build my own business or whatever. Just giving kind of
sure.
that kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah,
Which
sure.
makes it
Yeah.
more. So the goal for that is for my audience to see you as like a human being. They shouldn't just be entertained with our conversation, but because you're talking about something that really means something to you, they should get to know who
Yeah.
you are as a person. So the caption would just kind of expand on that.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Cool.
And last question, like this is a technical question. How did you like find the employees of VaynerMedia? Like How
Just
did-
through Instagram, I would just literally on Gary's comment section, and I would see who's interacting, who's not. Keep a close look if Gary tags someone, and then just reach out to them.
oh wow, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely ask you a lot more on that. Like, I
Absolutely,
hope
like
you don't
feel
mind,
free to
like-
like reach out if I can add any value. You see, Gary is so like interactive with his like other pages also, like VaynerMedia's page, Team GaryVee,
yeah.
all these different
Yeah.
pages that Gary has. You see the employees, they're always tagging themselves, and you can reach out to them, or you like see people commenting or like just things like that. So you can just like always DM them.
I see. Okay, yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much
Cool.
for coming on the podcast, and
Thank you for having me.
I hope you like had a good time and enjoyed.
Oh, I did. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good night. I guess. Not
Yeah.
nights. I don't know.
Thank you. So record
Yeah.
your stuff and can you send it to me on iMessage for the like video quality to remain good? Do you have iMessage?
Normal like messages
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. It has
normal,
the
like,
same
app. Yeah, okay, yeah,
quality
sure.
as AirDrop, so we'll do that.
But I don't have your number though.
I'll text it to you on
Okay.
Instagram.
I can send messages like cross country, right? Can I? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do it with Dom. That's how we like did our whole collaboration. It has the same quality as AirDrop. That's why we do iMessage.
Yeah, it's gonna go wrong. Okay.
Okay, cool. Send me a video and stuff. And
Okay, cool.
do you want me to edit both of them, or would you want to edit?
I'm down. I mean, yeah, I guess you can edit like both of them.
Like,
I
if you
think
don't
that's
have
okay.
time, I'll edit both of them. But then if you want to edit yours in like a particular style or whatever, then you can edit yours.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah?
sure.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
I sent you my answer, and you sent me your answer.
Oh no, I'll send you the question and the answer.
Okay, cool. Then I'll send you both as well, so you have context.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you. Bye.
Thank you so much. See you. Have a good rest.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
She wanna spend the night, but she can't spend the night. She wanna be my wife, but she can't be my wife. Yeah. She said she hate when I go. She want me to stay. Wish I didn't have to leave so soon. It's too late. I'm already on the first flight out to the door. My phone doesn't work.